This is podcast episode number 338. And I'm here with Eric Miller, and we're going to talk about the Str Legends Mastermind Virtual Edition. Yes.
That's right.
What's up, Eric?
That's right. Dude, you're getting pretty good at this podcast thing. 338 episodes.
I mean, you would hope so. I mean,
that's awesome, man.
After doing that many, I should probably be a little better at it, actually.
No, I'm excited to kick this off, man. We got an awesome topic to chat about.
Absolutely, and if you're watching this live in the Profit Club, drop us a comment. Let us know where you're from. Just say hi, engage, like our post, all of that kind of good stuff. But yeah, let's kick this off. So if you've been following us for a while, then you're probably aware that we launched Str Legends last year in Puerto Rico, and that's pretty much a year ago, right? On the spot almost, because that mastermind we did in Puerto Rico at the end of June. So the 1 year anniversary of Legends is actually coming up in a couple of weeks. But obviously right now live events is a little bit tricky. The world has changed a lot in the last 3 or 4 months or so. So today we're extremely excited because we ask ourselves the question, like, how can we bring even more value to the larger operators? And the answer was, okay, we're going to take this virtual because virtually you can do actually it opens up a lot of possibilities that we didn't have with the live events. So today we're going to explain exactly what we have in store for you guys, how you can apply, and all of that good stuff. What's up, Derek, by the way? Watching us live here in the Airbnb Profit Club. So Eric, why don't you kick it off and give the folks an idea of what we're up to?
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. Yeah, Legends has been a lot of fun to fulfill over the last year. I can't believe it's been a year. So kind of some quick background. Our first in-person event was in Puerto Rico, second in Cartagena, Colombia. When was that? January?
Yeah, that was in January. That was just a couple months ago.
That felt, man, it's so crazy. It feels like it was last week, but it also feels like it was a lifetime ago because this whole COVID thing is just tossing us through a loop. So it's going back to what you were saying. It's we're constantly asking ourselves, how can we continue to bring value to this industry? And one thing that we noticed is obviously we have the podcast, we have the blog, we have the Short-Term Rental Profit Academy. We do a lot and serve a lot to the professional host, the host that is starting to grow their business and really starting to grow the amount of listings in their company, all of that. But then we realized, like, the Legends community, these are operators that are running, multiple listings, 50, 100, 200, 500 listings, that have big companies, employees, all of that. They got hit really, really hard by COVID. And you and I are asking, like, how do we serve this community? How do we bring them value through these tough times, but then also help them be in a position to capitalize? Because we all know, like, in time of crisis, even though that it's really tough times, it opens up some really amazing opportunity for the right people. So yeah, we created Str Legends Virtual Mastermind, and we're bringing 30 to 50 operators from all around the world together on a monthly basis to dive deep into their businesses, to solve the biggest problems in their company in lifetime. How do they survive this COVID situation? But then most importantly, how do they position themselves with this group, with the knowledge base of this community to really position themselves to thrive through the opportunities that are going to come through the end of this whole COVID situation. So, and it's been nuts, man. I spoke to 50 plus companies this week. And these are companies that are running on a low end 30 units, on average 200 properties. I spoke to somebody the other day that was running 2,000 units globally, and they all are experiencing the same challenges due to COVID, which we can get into, but they're all with the mindset of, like, hey, it's time for us to turn this up. It's time for us to go deep. It's time for us to really surround ourselves with the right people so we can understand how to scale. Every single company I spoke to wants to scale their companies, even during these crazy times, which which just excites me, man. It lights me up. So yeah, I'm excited to go deeper on what all of that looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that we realize is that like, these are operators that they don't want to be educated with presentations and stuff, right? They want to
Mm,
build relationships with each other, because the only people that can really give good advice to somebody who runs like 50 units is somebody else who runs that similar amount of units or more, right? So it's hard for these operators to find good education, right? Because you can't really find it in Facebook groups or online articles. It doesn't it doesn't go deep enough for them to really find that valuable education. So that's the whole idea behind this as well, right? Is not to not for us to run some presentations and do that kind of stuff, but really like bring these people together and to create an environment where everybody feels comfortable and open to share and grow as a community, and build relationships, right? Because in the end of the day, it's all about who you know, right? It's all about the relationships that you have. If you have the relationships with the right people, the people that can actually help you grow because they understand your business, because they are running a very similar business. I think that's the value that really comes from this mastermind. And there's no real other place, I think, that where you can go as a large operator where you can find that. Because one of our legends, Rebecca, she said it very well. She said at one of her past events, she said it's not a conference, it's a conversation, and it's not a
mm,
community, it's a family, right?
yeah,
And that's something really powerful as well. That I don't know if we really envisioned that when we started it, but we really became almost like a family,
for
right? Where
sure.
everyone's just
Oh
looking
yeah,
after each other and trying to help each other.
yeah.
It's really awesome to see.
Yeah, and to that point too, man. I just got off the phone with a operator out of Scotland. He was actually, I believe, on your podcast. He runs a company called Stay Managed, and they have hundreds of units all throughout Scotland. And I asked him like, "What's your interest of joining Legends?" And he's like exactly what you just said. He's like, if it was a plumbing company that we were starting, or if we were running a mechanics, car mechanic place, there's people and there's processes that you can go through to learn what others have done to be successful. In our industry, especially the last few years, a lot of companies are just kind of figuring it out as we go. There's real no base to really understand what happens when you get to above 30 units, right? And that's when economy of scales really come in place, and the magnitude of challenges and opportunities just 10 20x where it's at 10, where you're running a company in 10 units, right? So having a community like this, and this goes for anybody, it's like having a community. And I would love to explain what a mastermind is, because I think there's some confusion around a mastermind. And this is for everybody who's listening to this, regardless if you join the Str Legends Mastermind or the Strappa Inner Circle, which is essentially a virtual mastermind as well, just a bit more education, or if you and I are in masterminds together. The whole concept of a mastermind, and if you read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, um, he maps out exactly what a mastermind is, and this goes back to the early 1900s. Essentially, a mastermind is bringing together like-minded and similarly successful entrepreneurs, or individuals of expertise on a certain topic, to come together on a frequent basis to discuss and solve their biggest challenges, and then also review and map out their biggest opportunities in business, right? And masterminds have been going on forever. They're getting really, really popular now because it's just so easy to connect people through the virtual world. But masterminds are so powerful. That's, to me, the most important thing that's changed my business career, especially as CEO. It doesn't matter if I, went to college or anything like that. I think the masterminds, learning from other individuals like you that are willing to share, that have been where you want to go, and they're able to share their experience with you and solve problems with you, or put a deal together with you. It's beyond. You can't put a price tag to that stuff, right? So masterminds are so powerful. It's not an educational thing. You're not sitting there listening to a talking screen or a talking head and someone's talking at you. This is a group. It's like individuals sitting around a campfire discussing business, discussing how they solve their problems and grow. So yeah, for everyone who's listening, if you're not in a mastermind, I'd highly recommend seeking that. Obviously, we have STR Legends for the established operators, and we're excited to get the virtual one kicked off here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that I noticed, not just at our STR legends, but even before, I've been talking to these larger operators for years, trying to figure out like how can I offer value through get paid for your pad and my blog, etc. And one thing that I noticed is like every time I spoke to a larger operator and asked them questions, and it turned out that they were doing things in different ways, right? So the way I think about these operators is it's almost like they're all pioneering their way to success, right? And everyone's doing things slightly differently, which makes sense because a lot of people are pretty new in this industry, right? Of course, you have people who've been in the traditional vacation rental market for a very long time, but a lot of the people in our community, they've started maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago, started with like a couple units, saw the opportunity, and these are all entrepreneurs, right? They saw the opportunity and they jumped on it. These are not typically people that were born into the vacation rental
Mm-hmm.
world or something, that they have like a family boutique hotel somewhere. No, it's
Mm-hmm.
just like people who had all sorts of jobs, whether it's marketing or all sorts of stuff, and they saw the opportunity, and they saw like, hey, you can make a lot of money with these Airbnbs. So let's start managing more of them, right? And there was no playbook, right? So everyone's figuring it out on their own. And then what happens if you bring 30 of those people who've all been very successful is what they do, but they all had to kind of reinvent their own little wheel. You put those people in one room, and then suddenly it's like, oh, I do this way. Well, why are you doing it that way? I'm doing it this way. That's much more efficient. And then the other person is like, oh wow, I've never thought about that. Okay, let me implement
Oh
it.
man,
Right?
to that point, I mean, the very first Legend Mastermind we put on down in Puerto Rico, Eric and Rebecca was sharing with the group what they do with virtual assistants on their call center and everything else. And somebody else in the room, Gustavo, who runs a massive company and a huge employee base as well, was able to, that day, he had a major breakthrough with his call center. He was able to switch a lot of his call center from in-person individuals to virtual assistants, and saved him over $500,000 in operational costs, right?
Yeah.
So that the community for him, and just being in that room and having an open discussion, he didn't even know that was possible, right? He knew virtual assistants existed, but didn't realize the power that they brought, or how other operators at his level are utilizing them, right? So that's the power of a mastermind. That's not something he would have got from an educational presentation. It's, this is how I'm using it. This is how I pay for it. These are my systems. And then he went back, and within a week, he restructured his entire company and was able to save $500,000 in operational costs, which was incredible to see. And then again, individuals bringing opportunities to the room, like, hey, I have this hotel that I want to buy. I want to put an offer in. This is what it looks like, blah, blah. And the whole room that has expertise on how to put deals together were able to work through those things. And some of our members were able to, buy a couple of hotels, which was freaking amazing. So,
Yeah.
the power of masterminds are unbelievable. Highly suggest everybody go out and seek one. Feel free to reach out to myself or Jasper. If you're in obviously the short-term rental industry, we have STR Legends. How about we explain who the STR Legends Mastermind is for?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, so we set the bar at like 30 units. So the mastermind is really meant for people that run a certain sizable operation. So if you're running 30 units or more, feel free to apply. But also, if you're an operator or you're an owner of a boutique hotel, we also invite you to apply as well. That's something that we've seen within our Legends group, is that a lot of them are getting into the boutique hotel space as well, right?
Yep.
So those type of operators are definitely welcome to apply. And also, if you're doing like $2 million in revenue, because units, if you're running like 15 super high end luxury units, you might actually have a higher revenue than if you're running like 45 budget units, right? So
That's true.
the numbers are not set in stone.
Yeah.
Like, what we're really looking
No.
for is people that run a sizable business. People have an entrepreneurial mindset. They're not doing it as a side gig. They're really all in on their business. They want to grow. They're ambitious, but also they have this similar mindset, right? Because what you just talked about, right? One of our members literally on Friday in Cartagena in Colombia came up with this hotel idea, that hotel that she wanted to buy, and then the group came together, and on Monday the deal was done. Like, literally
Yeah.
in 3 days the whole deal was done, which was completely mind-blowing to see. Now, that is
Yeah.
only possible if, number one, that expertise and that knowledge is in the group, but number two, if people are actually willing to share that, right? And that's something that for us is extremely important as well. We want to raise the tide, right? We see ourselves as all little boats and we want to raise the tide. We don't want people that just want to raise their own boat, right? We want people who understand that, by helping other people, by giving back to a community, that's value. There's going to be value for them as well, right? That's how we all grow together. So, we want people who want to share, want to contribute, but also who want to grow and are ambitious. So I think that
That's
mindset
right.
part is very important as well.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. I mean, what we're realizing here is that, through the situation that we just went through, or that we're currently going through on a global basis, we're watching a lot of companies go out of business, a lot of fly by night companies just that were able to make some revenue really fast and didn't have the fortitude or the desire to build a real company, a real brand, some culture, experiences with their properties. Those companies kind of went out. The ones that have the desire to grow, yes, they got hit. Most of the companies I talk to have lost over 50% of their listings or 50% of their revenues, right? But they understand that in business, we go through challenges like this. And as CEOs, we got to realize how do we, trim the fat, understand what's working, go 100% in on what's working, focus, narrow our focus, and then be able to find the opportunities in this and grow. And, everybody I'm speaking to for Legends is doing that exactly. So, yeah, we had to set a bar. We had to set an entry level to get into Legends, right? Because that expertise, that experience needs to be collectively, it has to be at a collective, at a level that everyone's sharing, right? That makes sense. So we have a threshold at entering into Legends to even qualify at 30 listings or $2 million in revenue, or you're an operator owner of a boutique hotel, right? Most of the operators and most of the Legends that are in the group now are running on average a minimum of 100 units. Some are upwards of 500 units. We're speaking to somebody today who has over 1,000 listings throughout the country. We have operators, boutique hotel owners, developers, and operators in here as well. The whole concept of this is like, how do we find the needle movers in this industry? Not the VC-backed companies that have hundreds of millions and big board advisors and investors that they can go to for advice, right? Those companies have that. We're looking for the companies that are like, hey, this is my industry. I love this industry. I want to grow my company. I want to grow this brand. I want to expand this brand. I want you guys to come into this group. We want to sit around this fire. We want to share what's working. We want to share what's not working, and we want to do deals together. We want to help everybody in this group be successful. So, yeah, if that aligns with you and you guys fit, and if you fit that criteria and you're willing to not only receive information, and this is a key part to what you just said, man. It's like you have to be in the mindset of giving. It's giving first, and then through giving, you're going to be able to to receive, right? And going back to the stories that we just shared, when one of the operators, Gustavo, stood up and started sharing his story of his overhead and expenses, and somebody in the group shared with him about their virtual staff, and he was able to save $500,000 in operational costs. That same individual that shared her technique on how they grew their company with a virtual staff, that's the individual that was like, hey, I have a hotel deal that I want to buy. I'm just not sure how to put it together. And the whole group worked through it. And at the event, they were able, her and her partner were able to go and put this deal together and buy the hotel at the event. And it was all because her and her partner were giving value. And now they own 2 hotels and they're working on their 3rd, which is freaking amazing. So this is what we're creating. And we invite everybody to join, and I guess we should give them the website too. Just go to strlegends.com, go through it. We map it all out. There's an application. Just fill that application out. You're going to be talking to me directly. I get on the phone with everybody to make sure it's a good culture fit, make sure your challenges are things that we want to bring into this group, make sure that your ambition and your vision is something that we can support as well, and that you do have that mindset of giving and helping all boats rise with the tide. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to meet some incredible people. We're talking some really incredible conversations, and if anybody is interested in that, definitely join that. And if you don't qualify, don't worry. We would love to continue to support you in our other ways with the Profit Academy and what we do here with Get Paid for Your Pad.
Yeah, I mean, and that's something that we haven't talked about. But one of the really cool things about having that platform, having that community of STR legends, is obviously it's inspiring to everybody else, because we have a lot of students in the short-term Untitled Profit Academy who are very ambitious now, and they want to be a legend, right?
Yep.
So that's cool as well, to kind of set an example, being a source of inspiration, but also obviously the lessons that we learn from the legends. Of course, a lot of those lessons also apply to smaller operators, right? If you have like 15, 10, or even 5 units, right? So it's also a source of knowledge that we pass on to our communities as well. So the whole theme around this is just growing together, as a community.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And one thing that we totally forgot to mention too is, because of the power of this mastermind and the level of companies and operators we have in this group, we are able to leverage the power and the influence of the STR Legends community to go out and connect one-on-one with individuals that we typically wouldn't have the ability to connect with. And we're able to leverage the power of this community to bring these individuals into our group to mentor us through the process. And one individual who's just been an absolute mentor to the industry as a whole, he's a mentor to Brian Chesky. He's been in the boutique hotel world for forever and has created some incredible companies. He's an author. He runs an academy now. Chip Conley from the Modern Elder Academy, and his old position with Airbnb was global hospitality. And he's the one-on-one mentor of Brian Chesky of Airbnb. He's agreed to come into Legends as a legend mentor to kind of lead us through that conversation of like, how do we get through these hard times as a hospitality company? Where is this industry going? How do we make the transition from short-term rentals to boutique hotels? So it's really, really incredible. And that's, again, the power of a mastermind with the right people, with the focus of a specific industry, and the collective agreement that we're going to give and help everyone grow. People like Chip Conley, who's just an incredible human being, he's like, hell yeah, I want to be involved in this. Hell yeah, I want to mentor these guys. These are my people. This is, hospitality givers and operators. These are people I want to mentor. So he's going to be with us this month, mentoring the group. We also have other individuals like Simon Lehman of AJL Consulting, who's been in the space forever. He's going to come on and kind of mentor us as well when it comes to the M&A side. So just like this group is so powerful. And as this grows every single month, we'll be able to leverage the power of this community to go out and get more people like Chip Conley to come on board and just talk to us and just be there to ask questions and bounce challenges and ideas off of them. And I mean, man, that's you can't pay for that stuff, right? Like
No.
it's just like it's so priceless to have that here, and that's what we're going to do with the STR Legends community.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. I almost forgot, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Chip is kind of like the legend of the legends, right? And he's the
Mm-hmm.
Uber legend. He's awesome, by the way. I met him a couple of times at the Airbnb Open. He's a great guy. So yeah, and just to give a little bit more details on what we're actually going to be doing. So the mastermind is consists of we have a monthly get together where all the members get together with the mentors and everyone. We're gonna go really really deep on different topics. We're gonna do hot seats where you as an operator you can bring your challenge, your biggest problem in your business, or a challenge in your business. I don't like saying problem,
Yeah.
but yeah, your biggest challenge in your business. You can bring that forward, and then you literally have like a giant board of advisors to give you direct feedback on that challenge that you have in your business. And these are people that probably already went through that challenge or they're facing the same one, right? So those are the people that can actually give you directed advice that you can trust. So that's one part of it. We're also going to have weekly breakout sessions where whatever topic comes up, we'll get a room on Zoom together, and we'll lead a conversation around that topic. The whole idea is for us to basically just solve your problems, right? Your challenges. So that's where we are coming from, because we're figuring out like how do we bring as much value, right? That's always our number one thing. So we're also going to have a Slack channel with different channels on different topics, right? So at any point in the day, you can go into the Slack channel and you can ask the other members for advice on whatever topic. And I think that's super super valuable as well, because sometimes you just need some fast advice. You need to make a decision. You only have a couple hours, and you need a place where you can just quickly go like, "Hey guys, I need to make a decision on this. What are your thoughts?" And get an answer. You can't really wait for a week or a month. Um, so we really have like different levels. We have the Slack channel where you can always communicate. We have the weekly breakout sessions, and then we have the monthly mastermind call where we really, really go deep. We really take a lot of time. We get people like Chip Conley on board to give advice, and so those are the different parts of the mastermind that you will get when you join. And again, if you wanna join, go to strlegends.com. There's a big apply now button. Feel free to go through the website. We've got all the information there. We got testimonials from our past legends. We got a lot of interesting stuff that you can go through. But at the end of the day, like we want to connect. So what happens is when you apply, you're gonna get a form that you fill out. We ask some questions about your business, about what your goals are, etc. And then Mr. Eric Murrer is going to schedule a call with you, and he's going to talk to you, answer any questions you have, and really see if it's a good fit, right? And based on that conversation, you can then decide whether you want to join the mastermind. So
Yep.
that's the process. That's the details. We're kicking this off in about 2 weeks. June 25th is our first big mastermind day where Chip is going to come on board. So if you're thinking about joining, don't wait too long, because that's going to be we're really kicking this off with a boom, right? So you definitely don't want to miss that first meeting on June 25th. So don't wait too long with applying. You can join later, but I think right now you definitely don't want to miss that first one.
Yeah, and let me clarify all that too. If you guys are, if you're aligned with this and you're interested, just fill out the application as soon as possible. We do have to get on a call, literally as soon as possible, because we are starting to move and getting everybody onboarded into Slack and getting them set up for the mastermind calls, all of that, introducing to the group. So yeah, right now is the time to take action. So just go over to strlegends.com, fill out the app. You and I will have a 30-minute conversation, make sure it's a good fit. And then if it is, we'll get you set up within the next day or two within the mastermind. So yeah, bit of an urgency there, but super excited to connect with you guys. And then yeah, yeah, I think that's it. And then yeah, just head over to the website. We have a ton of content that's up there, and we're excited to get the next event up and going on the 25th.
Absolutely. So I think that was pretty much it, right? Anything else you wanted to share?
That's it. That's it. I think I'm just excited. I see a lot of opportunity in our industry. I see the industry changing yet again. And with COVID, I think it's really opened up our eyes on what's working in the industry, what's not working. It's grabbed a lot of people's attention, and I think over the next 6 to 12 months, we're going to really see the outliers in our industry take over the markets that are working, take over and really figure out how to scale real brands. But the industry's completely changed. But it's going to a positive route. So we're excited to discover that and work through that in the Legends. So, and yeah, thanks for having me on again. Thanks for everyone who's watching live, and excited to connect with the few that do put in applications.
Absolutely. We've had a lot of applications coming in, so me and
Yeah.
Eric are pretty much working around the clock these weeks
Yeah.
to get everybody in, to get everybody set up. So again, if you are interested, just jump on and apply. We're kicking it off in 2 weeks. So Eric, thank you for joining. It was awesome. And I'm super excited to kick this virtual edition of the STR Legends. The saga continues. I'm super excited to kick this off. And to the listeners, thank you for listening. And of course, this episode is all about legends, but next time there's going to be another one. And hope to see you there. All right, Mr. Mother.
Thanks, man.
Take it easy, man.
Take care, everybody.
Talk to you soon. All right. Bye, everyone.